My name is Asaf Bachia Dumbudu. I and my team, Smart Traffic Managers, we developed this idea, which is the Smart Traffic Management System. This is to enhance the coordination between drivers and vehicles. Normally, at the traffic light points, pedestrians, that the zebra crossing is the part where the pedestrians are supposed to cross the road. But at that point, when a pedestrian is there, then drivers too are driving. They don't wait for pedestrians to cross the road, but rather they just pass away. So we try to come out with this idea, the automated barrier, which is to provide pedestrian with protective mechanism whilst crossing the road. And also at the traffic light point, we have the voice announcer which speaks in two languages, English and the local dialect of the community or area where this system has been mounted. This is to further assist pedestrians whilst using the road, and this address the issue of dyslexia, color blindness. That's it.
Please, I am Ohinijana Breferis, a third year student of Ameniampo Senior High School, and I am here to present on a smart house. Let's consider this. Maybe you left home in a rush without the conscience of switching off your bulb or your electrical appliances. And mind you, as you don't switch it off, your electrical bills are going to increase. Therefore, we developed this idea of home appliances, I mean smart house. So it is connected to our mobile phones. So far as you left your home without any conscience of switching off your bulb or your other electrical appliances, as it is connected to your phone, it will send a message to you, making you be aware of what is going on in your house. But specifically, it concerns your electrical appliances. So it will give you a format of what is happening in your house, and directly on your phone, you can use your phone to switch it off. For example, maybe your bulb, you left home without switching off your bulb. Therefore, with the help of your phone, as it is connected to it, it could be used to switch off the bulb. Now, moving on to our aquabot. The aquabot is specifically used for the water dispenser or hand washing dispenser. So, comparing this with our local means of washing our hands or drinking of water, actually we use taps instead of automatic sensors. And maybe I may be having a germ, or I may be having an infectious disease which you can contract easily, and I attack the tap, you will be easily contracted and you will be infected. Therefore, with this aquabot, it is easy for you to wash your hand, or maybe drink your water by just putting a bottle here. There is an ultrasonic sensor there, as you can see. When it senses it, then the water will start flowing. That's it. Moving on to the smart bin. The smart bin is made specifically for everybody, but for Ghanaians. I said already, let's compare this to our local means of disposing of our garbage. It has become annoying this day, and with this smart dustbin, it is easy for all people to dispose of their garbage easily. It is made easier and simple for everybody. For example, maybe a businessman or an official worker who has closed from his or her work, holding his or her briefcase in his hand and other files in the other hands, who is also having a rubbish to dispose of. How is it possible for him to dispose of his garbage or rubbish as a gentleman? It will be very hard for him or her. Therefore, we develop this. So as soon as you get closer to the dustbin, it will automatically open for you to drop off your garbage or refuse. And it is made easy and simple. Even if you have low technical know-how about this, it will be easy and simple for you to dispose of your rubbish. Now, please, I think we are having a failure in our system. So moving on to our vegetation box. This serves as our farmland, and this specifically shows how we can practice modern farming. It consists of automatic irrigation system, which will irrigate our farmland without even the conscience of the farmer. We have a moisture sensor in it, which will detect the amount of moisture or amount of water in the soil, so that as the farmer is not around, or if possible, if even if he is around, it will automatically irrigate the farmland without any means or conscience of the farmer. And before the water is being used for irrigation, it will pass through these filtration processes before coming here, and which will be used for the irrigation process. And also,
To continue with what my brother said, yes, a vegetation box is a controlled environment for growing plants with advanced technology. So yes, our moisture sensor together with the purification system. One may ask, what is the sole function of this moisture sensor? This moisture sensor is able to determine the moisture content in the soil. That's the amount of water in the soil. So when there's a drastic loss of water in the soil, this moisture sensor will send an information to the Arduino board. The Arduino board will later pass it to the purification system. Then the purification system will auto then the purification system will auto irrigate the farm. And also, one may ask, what's the essence of this thing over here? This thing over here is moringa extracts from the bark and then root and leaves of moringa. Now we all are testifying to the fact that nowadays most of our water bodies are being polluted by mining activities, which indulges in materials such as mercury and then cyanide. So this moringa extract will settle down the heavy metals by a method known as bioremediation for the purification system to continue. As you can see, here is our purified water and then our irrigating tubes auto irrigating the farm. So our farm is automated, meaning it can operate with or without the presence of the farmer. Thank you.
and also, we have the flame sensor, which will be used to detect any flame or fire outbreak on the farmland. Supposing the farmer is not around and there is maybe an outbreak of fire, it won't be possible for the farmer to come up wherever he or she is, to switch off the fire or to quench the fire. Therefore, the flame sensor, which will be used to detect the fire outbreak, will send an information to the Arduino, which will automatically quench the fire by itself without even the conscience and presence of the farmer. So as you can see, as heat is applied to the flame sensor, water was sprinkled to quench every fire outbreak on the farmland. Therefore, this is our modern and technological way of farming.
And also we have a laser security system. Once you are cultivating crop, there will be the presence of pests and intruders and even thief. So when an intruder tries to enter our farm, our laser security system is working together with an ultrasonic sensor and then a buzzer. When an intruder enters the farm, the laser will be focused on the intruder, and then the laser will send an information to the Arduino board. The Arduino board will pass it to the buzzer, and then the buzzer will make a loud noise to scare the predator away. So there won't be any pest or wounded or thief attack in our vegetation boards.
In addition to what my brother said, let's cite this example. Maybe I am a rice farmer cultivating rice. Now, the cost of a yard of nets cost about, say, 200 Ghana cedis, and I am cultivating about 20 acres of land, meaning I'm going to spend about 4,870 Ghana cedis only on yards of nets out of the production cost. Therefore, compared to the laser security and our local means of farming, this has been deducted to easy and simpler means. Therefore, with Ameniampong STEM team and our project, we can easily develop Ghana through technology. Thank you.
Together we can say it is possible.
So, hello everyone. I'm Jato Christabel Menesombo, a student from Basumchi Girls STEM High School, STEM and Robotics team. So, today we are at Ashanti Festival and we came out with some amazing projects. So, here we have the smart glasses. So, this smart glasses is made for total visual impaired people or people suffering from blindness. So, it helps them to walk around freely without any help from anyone. So I'd like my dear sister over here to act as the blind person for us to know how this whole system works. So taking it as my sister Charisma over here being the blind person. So she's walking towards an obstacle, which is this bottle. So move aside so that she'll come. So you can see that when she was coming closer to the bottle, it started to make noise, give a beep sound, which shows that there is an obstacle and the person needs to change his or her direction. We also have the smart bridge over here. So the smart bridge, considering places like Accra, Kumasi, some congested places, normally when it rains heavily, flooding normally occurs. So when this system sense that the normal rate at which our water normally rises moves beyond that one, then the whole bridge system will come up like this, preventing the flooding. We'll show you how it works later. So we also have the smart car. So the smart car is a multitask car. It can do a whole lot of things. So the smart car has the self-driving system, or it has the controlling mode. So you can see our dear sister over here is controlling it. It's an app you built for the whole car that she's using it to control it. Yeah. But this car too has a special thing whereby in case when you are driving it, it can prevent accidents. So she will send it to the system mode. So you can see that when it senses an obstacle, the car will change its direction by its own. So the platform over here is not that much for it. Yes. Go on. Yes. So you can see when it sends the obstacle, it will change its position, so helping the car to move freely. You can also add a line tracking to this car, or you can also upload someone's facial recognition to this car, helping our security agents like the police industry and the soldier to track criminals that have stolen some things from the country, so that they can know where they are at a particular moment and the car can go and bring that person. So these are the projects we have for you today. Thank you.
Okay, first of all, I'm Elias Isaka, a student of Materials Technical and Mechanical Engineering.
I'm Gaffery. I'm Joe. I am Wilfred.
Our main purpose over here is that we are utilizing the solar energy to drive motors, or to drive dynamo motors to generate electricity. Over here, the purpose of the solar panel over there is that it's serving as two purposes. In the day, it's charging the batteries directly and also powering this project directly. And the night, the chain over there is going to change over from the solar panel to the batteries. In the night, it has sensors. The sensor is going to sense darkness and also sense daylight. When it's daylight, the sensor is going to sense daylight, which the changeover is going to change over from the batteries to the solar panel. When it is in the night, the sensor is going to sense darkness, which is going to change over from the solar panel from the solar panel to the batteries, which is going to use in the night. And when it comes to this place, we have these motors, we have dynamos, we have transformers, we have sockets. I'm going to leave it over to my brother to continue with the explanation.
Okay, this is a cooling fan. This cooling fan used to cool the entire system. Then this is a DC motor, and then dynamo, transformer. So here, this is the output voltage socket. So now this motor rotates this dynamo to turn the turbo of the dynamo to give us the output voltage. The output voltage is used to pass through the step up transformer to the output power side. Then now you can get it in and see how it works. Then now we have already on the system as you see.
With the help of the belt, it's selling the dynamo.
Yeah, in form of link mechanics. Use the belts, using the belts. Yeah, you can on you see the light according to the
Because our battery is gradually falling down, and there is no abundance of sun over here. That's why you're not getting the maximum brightness of the bulb. But if you are at an area that there is abundance of sun, you're going to see the maximum brightness of the sun. And when you call us to come and make this thing in your house for you, you're first of all going to check the load analysis of your house before you make this thing for you. The load analysis of a house will depend on how this thing is going to be, either bigger or smaller. And we can make this thing which is going to power this whole auditorium. Depending on the load analysis of the auditorium. Yeah. So our main purpose is that we are utilizing the solar energy to drive motors, which will produce electricity without using ECG. You know, when you go to the hydro source and the thermal source, it's very, very expensive. But when you are using the sun, which does not cost a lot, so we are depending on the solar energy to drive with turbines to produce electricity. That's our main purpose. Thank you.
I'm Richmond Kobe from Old Tafoe HSB. This is a model of an electronic respiratory system. It was built to help students to understand the real concept of respiration that occurs in humans. We did most researches and some mental self-press to build this prototype.
Now, water is magnetic, or let's say yes, it's magnetic. So, because of magnetism in science, usually it's associated with electricity and all that. So, what happens is that for the this sensor, you can see there are some parallel bars on it. These parallel bars are magnetic, and then they cause. So you see, because it's dry, it's pumping water out. But the moment I put it in, the water comes, stops. You get me? Yes. Yes, it becomes irrigated. This is just a demonstration. So what happens is that the water, when it's on this thing, it connects these metal bars like a circuit, and it causes electricity to pass from one bar to the other. So the water is like a medium. So the more water that you pour on this, it causes it to, let's say, get more signals. So the signals are what we use for our values in checking whether there's low moisture or high moisture. And for the pump, we use the circuits to do it. We realized that for the motor couldn't, let's say, use the amount of power that this one produces. So we had to give this something called a relay. The relay is what helps it to gain more power, or let's say more voltage, so that you can use the motor. As you can see, the motor is a little bit different from the other things in the circuit. So we had to get them outside of this. And for whatever that we've done here, we realized that we could use it for other purposes too. Let's say, for example, you are pouring water into a bucket. Let's say at the top side, when you fix it here, and let's say the water fills to a certain point, this thing can sense it and then stop the pumping of water on its own. So even if you leave the tap to flow, it wouldn't overflow. Yes, because of this sensor. Yes. And then I think you guys should move on to the next one.
Just a minute. Let me look at that component.
Yes.
Which appliance modified? It came with the sensor.
Two for the sensor.
Let's chassis.
Okay.
They come with the sensor.
No,
There's a modification.
we bought these components to use them together. At first, it was actually only this. These are the original ones. These and this. But then for this and this, okay, this is also part. But then this is different from what we are using. This is what helps us to get the power. Yes.
Good job done.
Thank you.
So which component is this?
The carbon purification system. So this is the carbon purification system. So as we already know that in factories, after they've done their long day work, the fumes they are directly outside and pollute the atmosphere. But in this case, we did something to reduce the amount of harmful gases in the fumes before they get into the atmosphere, to reduce global warming and depletion of the ozone layer. So this is how it works. So after the fumes get out from the factory, there's a fan here which accelerates the smoke or the fumes through these pipes and get to the first purification chamber. So in the first purification chamber, because this is a prototype, we use some cotton which will filtrate the solid particles the in the fumes, and it will then be accelerated to the second purification chamber where we have some chemicals. In the actual sense, we needed to use amine, but because we are just doing something to demonstrate, we use sodium bicarbonate, and we use this baking soda for it. So it will act as a chemical to trap the carbon gases in the fumes and other harmful gases before it comes out, so that the carbon content in those fumes will be limited and reduce airborne diseases ozone layer depletion and other stuff.
Great. That's innovative. So this is mimicking
Faction.
the factories.
So the chimney.
Production. Okay. Good job.
Yes, sir. So
Attendance of students and staffs of a particular what institution. And with this, if you are enrolled and you put your fingerprint, it will then take your details. That is your ID, your name, and some other details that were collected at first to enroll you into the main PC. So using schools, for instance, it's used to check the rate at which students stay in class. So if you are a student that don't stay in class, this thing wouldn't help you because it's going to expose you. And with this, as a student, you come from the beginning. If you are enrolled and you just put your fingerprint, it will send your details into the main machine and will now show that yes, you were present for this time or you were absent. Same applies to teachers and other staffs of the school. And with this,
We're going
a
to show you
small demonstration here.
a little demonstration. Anything.
Over here, we have the software, which the phone is. This is it. The scan rule software. This, yes. And we also have
It's
the
only
one for the.
here.
And we also have the one for the PC, but unfortunately, the PC is switched off, and there's no power in it. So I'm now going to do a little bit of demonstration. The scan row. So with this, we have some options here: sign in and register. So these are what will be taken when we need to register you, so that the machine can what recognize your fingerprint. But if it already has your fingerprint and okay, if you have your fingerprint on it already, immediately you do, it would send. And each class has a particular number of people it would have. So I can't use two fingers. If I use this finger and it works, I can't use this finger. So I can't do for anyone. Or if I'm not in that class, I can't also do it.
So maybe in a situation where your friend did not come to class and he tells you to do it for him, you'll not be able to do it for him.
So over here we have take attendance. So taking attendance, please finger. The light turn on. I might, you see, since you are not enrolled, it won't come. But this, he's enrolled. Fingerprint captured successfully. It now send it to.
So this will mark his name on the register of headmaster.
And it's still under development. If not, would have enrolled you.
You don't like coming to class.
Yes, please.
So it's even used for teachers too.
Teachers to track the.
I think that it will help to reduce the abuse of the traditional register.
Yes, please.
Where people can go and write their names and sign for something.
Yes.
This one is fingerprint.
Yes.
Good job.
So it's what you have.